Hello.
Welcome. Welcome, schmelcome. Can you say hello in any other languages?
Kamusta ka?
What's that?
It's hello in Tagalog, Filipino, I think.
Cool. Say it again.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, I knew
Kamusta
that one.
ka?
Cool.
Okay.
Do you speak much of that language?
No, it's
No.
more like basics. Basic hi, hello. Oh, how are you? Good. I'm good. Anyway.
Yeah. Are we going?
Yeah, we're going.
We're going
Yeah.
good.
We can just.
Put on my pod voice. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just. Okay.
Today's a day.
Yeah, it's a really good day, but it's not to deter. From
We're
what
actually filming in a garbage can.
Yes.
Like, this room is actually just a giant garbage can. We're sitting in the side of it right now.
That's why it looks. That's why there's trash over there.
No, there's trash
Oh.
all around us.
Oh.
This here,
Right there, yeah.
Trash,
What you're
yeah.
watching is like a garbage fire.
hot
Hot garbage fire.
and garbage. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome
What-
to the double digits.
Yeah, Cringe Cast. We'll actually introduce ourselves in the beginning this time, so I'm thinking
Yep.
about it. You are,
I'm Justin.
and I am Ellie.
Ellie.
No, we'll get copyright. We can't say.
Ellie. I don't know how to do it.
We're cringers.
That's for our lore people who watch the lore of the
the
podcast.
lore of the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll write a book. There'll be like Easter egg. Like we're
Yeah, yeah,
dropping
yeah.
hints.
We'll drop
And by
hints.
episode 100, you'll be able to like follow through. It'll be like a find your own
Yeah,
adventure
yeah.
thing.
That's cool.
Did you ever read those books when you were little? Like the
No,
No, I didn't do
they're
any of that
dumb.
shit. I never got into
They're
that.
dumb. I would tell my dad to read something, and he would read it. So,
Read it to you?
yeah.
Oh, do you know how to read?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
On a spell.
Yeah.
Like the actual structural words, but yeah. I like writing too. There was an event that happened on this place that we're at that is a school, but we won't say because you can probably put context clues as to where, you don't want to point it out. I gotta censor it now. But anyone can figure out, but we just want to.
Justin's wardrobe is only
I know.
personal
If I
information
were to
based.
if I were to take it off, like the shirt would give it away.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, there was a person that
Funny.
visited, and his name was Billiam Nye.
Yeah.
I bought his book, and I actually want to read it.
Did you call him Billiam?
Yeah, because we want to keep the
Oh yeah, because the last name
Identities.
Nye is super
Nye.
nonchalant.
Yeah, Nye is it's a common name.
The lights in this room that we're filming in are really making me tired. Like I'm already like half
Really?
asleep today, and now I'm just gonna. Can I do the podcast like this?
Yeah. You can just
Just
show off
like-
the eye makeup.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
I
just do that.
No one can see it this far away.
But yeah,
but-
maybe. I mean, yeah. Does it actually make you like tired? What is that a thing?
I don't know. I'm just tired today.
Oh yeah,
That's
cool.
my mood.
All right, so we've been memeing for about 5 minutes now.
Yeah, so let's get in.
Just do another 20 minutes. No, I'm joking.
Another 20 minutes of memes,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
we got some.
Right at
420.
the start up.
We got some.
Got some heat. No,
got
we don't.
Got some movie trailers, some things that are coming out, some things that are doing, some things that are.
Moving.
Yeah.
All right.
What
so,
you want to talk about? Brother.
Brother. Okay.
You already said it?
Toy Story.
Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Trailer came out this week after the teaser with the trash-looking toys for the last few months. You know how they're doing the teasers with like the fork?
Oh, the trash. It's the
Yeah.
forky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the actual with the fork.
I think it's I'm interested as to what these. You know what I think it represents.
What?
So it's a stretch.
It's like a class system.
Yeah.
It's like the fancy toys, and then the ones who
Really.
I totally
Class.
made that.
Okay, that's a good. So mine was.
elitists and toys.
Mine was that in the poster, there's Forky, and then he's holding a fork,
Is his name really Forky?
and then
Let's
a
look it up.
spoon. So I think
gonna
maybe they're trying to teach kids something about LGBTQ, because it's in the middle.
Oh.
I mean, maybe that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh,
It kind of looks like he's like grabbing
he's like
them.
grabbing them. But like,
yeah. What was your first reaction seeing the trailer? Are you excited or are you?
I'm actually really excited because I think, like, I don't know about you, but I think children's movies have like deeper meanings than
Yeah.
most adult movies. And from this trailer, like, it seems like you got to take it with a grain of salt. But some of the stuff they're saying, like, he's like what's her name? Bo Peep comes back. She's like, oh, change is good, Woody, and he's like, you can't teach me new stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
that's important lesson to
That's
learn.
one thing that I found is I feel like Toy Story has always been super entertaining, but also has like a good underlining
Yeah.
message, and especially for like kids. But I will say that like this trailer didn't really hype me up much. I don't really feel that impassioned
Oh,
about
really?
the movie or the plot,
Really?
but it's part of it is because I feel like with Toy Story 3 and the ending, it ended in a perfect spot.
I see.
It was like the perfect place where the toys all went to Bonnie, and there that is like the perfect like happy but not like overly compensating ending
Yeah.
for yeah, they did 3 of them,
Yeah.
and it's been a while since the last one came out. I think it was a perfect ending, and I thought that they had announced that was like the final one.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that they had plans
They-
for this
they
new one
didn't.
until like the land started, being the idea.
Well,
Like
and-
Toy Story Land
yeah.
opened, Disney
Yeah.
World. There's Toy Story Lands and a few of the parks in like Asia and
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
and
The Europes.
yeah. No, I don't. Oh, and there is it in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But
With the
I don't
so
know.
I read up on it and they said they would not have made they weren't going to make another Toy Story unless
Yeah.
it was equal to
or
or
better.
greater. And here's the thing, I don't have a doubt in Toy Story, the people that are
No,
behind
yeah.
it, because every other Pixar movie, they tried it, like Monsters University, it's okay.
I liked Monsters
I mean, it's
University a
good,
lot.
but I mean,
I have
like-
a MU hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, in terms of trying to make a sequel, it's like, okay, we see what you're trying to do, but it's like, okay, and then same thing with Finding Dory. Okay, we see
Yeah.
what you're trying to do. We're trying to get a
Forgot about
prequel.
Finding Dory.
And then same thing with like Cars. Oof, Cars, they messed
I
that up.
haven't seen anything since Cars 2.
Yeah, Cars, and Cars
Is
2
there
is
3 or 4 now?
there's a 3.
Okay.
What they did with 3 is they try to bring it back to the first one.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
first Cars is so
good.
good. And
good.
I want to visit the Radiator
Oh,
Springs
yeah.
in Disney and Land
I wanna
so
do that.
badly because like if you look at pictures of it, like the way that it just like beautiful with like
It's
the
like-
canyons
yeah,
and everything.
that's cool.
And it's cars, like I don't know. I think that the cone hotels and stuff
That'd be
are
cool.
so cute, and it's just like such a retro area. I don't want to geek out about Disney parks
No.
anymore. In this,
Well, no, we can. It's,
but, like-
it's always a tag.
yeah, but I
Do they have
like.
it in World?
No, they don't have it in World. Which is like it's kind of how Disneyland doesn't have Toy Story Land. We don't
Oh.
have Cars Land, but Cars Land looks so fun. They have the Cozy Cone Motel.
Yeah.
They have the racing ride. They have like Flo's Cafe.
Yeah, they have it all there. It's all there.
It's so cool.
And I think
But
also,
they fucked the movies up.
oh yeah, the second one, like, there was just like,
It was decent. It was like whatever.
no, well, it was a spin-off.
Yeah.
It was Mater, and it's like, okay, the third one, I'll explain the plot.
Yeah.
Third one, essentially,
Don't go like Europe or something or.
that's the second one.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
the
okay.
third one, they basically, so Lightning McQueen is getting older, and basically they find this young girl racer who they
Yeah.
try and essentially is trying to make the new Lightning McQueen. So it's kind of like the first one. It's kind of like
But it's like taking them under your wing.
he's
and
the one
then-
that trains her. So he does the same training sequences as they did in the first one.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, just trying to keep that franchise
with
alive.
with Pixar though, most of them, the only other one that is comparable to Toy Story, I think, in terms of one after the other. Actually, no, there is no comparison because
What were you gonna say though?
so with okay, I'll say. So with Toy Story, I will say each movie that's came after it is connected.
Yeah.
They are separate but connected.
No, they're so like
You know?
like deeply like written and like connected and
Yeah,
like
but
yeah.
like you know that it's the same character. But with these other Pixar sequels, it is a newer version. But with Toy Story, it's like it's the same person. The one I was gonna say is Incredibles.
Oh yeah.
First to second, I personally like the first. Second one's really
no,
good.
Yeah, I just found that
But
I
it's-
thought that it was a strange concept that it picked up right where the first one
Yeah.
ended, like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be like that. Like I was expecting it to kind of take the form of like this happened years ago and like something totally new
Yeah.
is happening. And I felt like the plot of Incredibles 2 was quite predictable with like who ended up being the villain
I didn't know
and
that.
stuff
That was
like
kinda
that.
cool
Really,
to me.
yeah.
To me, at least, I was like, oh.
I mean, if they give any sort of Pixar character eye bags, I think that they're gonna end up being a bad
True,
guy.
yeah, that's
So
true.
that's how you tell. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely
They do it. I will say Toy Story, every one of them is original.
yeah.
And that's why I also slashed this and said original movies, because I think Toy Story, for no matter what, if people are like, oh, I'm enough of it, it's going to turn heads. Because
Do you think they'll do another one after this?
I don't think.
That's
Because,
too many.
well,
Like,
because here's the thing.
4?
I've heard the buzz around the movie, and they said when I think it was Tom Hanks, when he was recording his last lines. This is not through the grapevine. You can find these articles by,
This
but
is true fact.
true fact. But they said when he could not record his last lines.
Really?
Like he was getting choked up.
Uh-huh.
And then they said Tim Allen was the same way. there's also a set picture of them. So I'm like, okay, especially for those two
Yeah.
actors, if they've been doing this for about 50 years,
Mm-hmm.
and if they say it's that impactful, I'm gonna give them the word and be like, all right, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
Because I think,
I mean, I definitely want to see it. That's like no question, but
and I think with what you said, like with the third one wrapping up nicely,
yeah.
I think because we're like, oh, that's done, but I mean, I'm just connecting the dots. But like in this new trailer, they said, oh, change is good. I'm like, these are a lot of lessons that like
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to. Well, as a kid, you don't want to hear that, but I'm
Yeah.
like, because I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, like,
Like-
but there's more after it. I'm like, it's not to say that it's all Andy, because it's like, I mean, without getting too deep into it, I think it taught kids how to let go.
Mm-hmm.
For us, because we grew up with
Yeah.
it was really hard. But I was like, no, that's a good lesson. That is an amazing
Do
lesson
you remember
to teach.
the montage scenes in I think Toy Story 2 where like Jessie's owner
Yeah.
loses
Oh, yeah, I
interest
know
in
that.
her? Oh my god, I would
Mhm.
literally cry every time where like
Aw.
the sad like music that was playing
Sarah
and
Ma-
like
it was
she
Sarah
would use
McLachlan.
of course it was Sarah McLachlan. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
What is
You
yeah?
trying to make me cry for an hour? Like I've seen Toy Story Toy Story movies, so I don't know, they're just fun.
They're good, and I think
Funny,
they are the best. So
adventure-y, like it's not like I don't know.
you know what's fun is that so my sister when we were at so we went to this place, it was a breakfast place, but I'll tell you about it later. But we went to this breakfast place with all of my mom and my dad, and she pulled out something called a Pixar bracket, and a Disney movie bracket.
Yeah.
On the left was Disney animated films, so
I
the
think
Frozen.
I've seen this. I did it on like Twitter before.
Yeah.
Where they were like voting and stuff.
And it was basically all the animated ones Disney has made, so Zootopias, but also the original ones.
Yeah.
And then, or I think started from like Pocahontas and them. And then on the right was all Pixar. And you had to determine which one was the best. And both me and my sister says it's different, but she says Incredibles. But we did the bracket one by one, but he went down to Toy Story 2, and I went down to Toy Story 2.
For your for the best movie.
Best Disney movie
Yeah, I
out of all
remember
animated movie.
There's like some guy on Twitter, and he basically had done that where he posted the bracket and who was against who, and
Yeah.
you know how you can vote on polls on Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone like would go
Oh.
and vote, and so that's kind of who would
that's
win
cool.
in advance. And I think the winner was Toy Story, the original.
Oh, the original,
The
yeah.
original Toy Story. If I'm not mistaken, that was like a year ago that we did this on Twitter. But like,
Yeah.
it was. I know that it was the winner, or like Peter Pan or something was super close. Peter Pan's like a classic.
I mean, it's
so,
a classic, but it's like.
I mean, it's not. I don't think that it's the most groundbreaking thing.
No.
But yeah,
Dang,
Toy Story
Story.
is like one of the most like.
Whew, amount of.
It's one of the most like cherished franchises. Like I feel like they've done a really good job with keeping it alive
And
for the last
grounded,
few
yeah.
decades, but also not like.
Oversaturated.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I have like a Toy Story alien keychain in my backpack. I literally love those aliens so much.
So
They
good.
are so cute. I want some alien apparel. There's
Yeah.
oh my god, they have when I was in Disney last summer, they had like glow in the dark alien necklaces,
Ooh.
and if they were not $15 for just plastic, I would have bought one.
Well,
They're
and
so cute.
they've done stuff like to put a pin on it, but
Mhm.
they've trickled stuff in. They did like the Halloween stuff,
Yeah, the special.
the
yeah.
stuff on because
Mhm.
ABC is a Disney property,
Mhm. So
so
have
they
like
would
little shows.
push it out on Disney.
I remember watching those.
They would do those shorts, and I'm like, okay, people who don't even know what Toy Story is know that oh, these are cool. So it's perfect.
Well,
it's
and
perfect.
merchandising, it's still popular.
Well, because also they have
Because actual toys.
they're real toy manufacturers.
Yeah.
Like Mattel, like some of these things, like the Army guys are not Disney. They were,
Mhm.
so they're promoting it with just like, oh, they were in Toy Story. I want the toy.
Yeah.
And you're like, to a kid in this age, they're like, your parent is like, why do you want that toy? It's like, oh, I saw it in Toy Story.
Yeah.
But that's something they played with in like the 40s or
Mhm.
50s. So it's kind of cool.
I think
Yeah.
all in all, the trailer seemed interesting. Like it didn't really. It wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I have to stop everything, buy tickets, and see this right now. But like you said,
I mean,
I'm
I
sure
will,
it will
yeah.
be good. But personally, it was like nothing groundbreaking for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And I mean,
I know you're excited, so.
and with the next one, because we'll go quick with this one because you haven't
Mhm.
seen it as much. So the next one is what I mean by original movies is like, I'm segueing it because a lot of the movies we watch are not original movies. They're from an IP and
Yeah.
intellectual property. So they're
Or remakes or
they're
something.
remakes. And I was like, I
basically.
really thought about it. I was like, same thing with Toy Story. I was like, that's an original. I know that they're gonna make an original story that I've never seen before.
Well, if you look at any time, if you like go on to look at what movies are in your theater, they're like all sequels. Somehow there's always a new Medea movie in the
sequels,
theaters.
comic books.
A new Tyler Perry film.
Yeah, new Tyler Perry
always
film.
in theaters. And then like there's always a superhero film, always a Tyler Perry film, 2 fucking remakes. Yeah. There's always some weird anime film playing at at our theater.
Yeah, or it's like
and then a bunch of like others, like a Disney or something.
Well, and then an example of that is like we were talking earlier, like Us. Like that is an original. Jordan Peele, a part of Key and Peele, he made Get Out, which I have yet to see. But
I'm gonna make you see Get Out and Us, and then we'll do a whole podcast dedicated to like that new era of horror because Get Out is one of the best movies.
But
I've
again,
ever seen.
it's I already can tell it's an original movie.
It's so cool.
And
it's
cool. It's cool. And with this segue, this next movie, so it's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Very interesting title on this.
So it's Quentin Tarantino. It's his 9th movie because he's big on his numbers. But if you search up,
it did say that in the trailer. It was like 9th film from Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, okay. Why does he do that?
The one thing I like about him is that the reason why he does that is because he stated he doesn't want to just keep making movies to make them.
Yeah.
He wants to make them, and then when he's done, when he feels like he's done, he's done. I like that because here's the thing: some directors will just
shit out a million
for 40 years. They'll just make movies.
2 a year. Like, no, that's seriously. Crazy.
And he's like, I don't want to do that. And if you look at whether or not you've watched his filmography or not, he's a genre-based filmmaker.
Yeah.
So he made the Kill Bill, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my favorites of all time. It's like a Western.
It's very good.
It's a Western martial art. It's like a lot of different things. I'm like, that's cool. And people are like, well, why doesn't he make more? I'm like, because he's not oversaturating.
Yeah, I did.
You know?
I was kind of surprised when that number popped up, and I was like, he hasn't made more movies?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, when you hear Quentin Tarantino, the very few popular, like, extremely well-known movies of his come up, but I also just assumed that he was, like, very prolific and made, like, movies every year or something, but he doesn't, and I do respect that. Like, I don't really know. I've heard some bad things about him as a person.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't want to delve into, but it's, like, I mean, he's made some good stuff.
He's made good stuff.
But what about this one?
And on that, like...
What's it about? Can you explain it to me?
Okay,
I was confused. Is it about just, like, people living in Hollywood?
So if you look up... So search up something called Once Upon a Time in the Wild West. I think it's called the Wild West. In the West. It's called... So Quentin Tarantino, this movie is, quote-unquote, his love letter to Hollywood. And I see where he's coming from. He doesn't like the new age of Netflix and all that, which I get. Okay, I love it. I love it, but like I get what he means.
Yeah, it's hard for a filmmaker.
Yeah, well, he's a traditional filmmaker. So this is called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, kind of like Once Upon a Time in the West. And what it is it's essentially his love letter to Hollywood. Kind of just it's depicting 1969 Hollywood, which again I don't know a lot about old movies.
We were not even just dating in that point.
Yeah, exactly. So it's about 1969, and it's about the last golden age, the last year of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the two people in the movie are Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, which, by the way, their paychecks, they have never been on screen together. Because think about how expensive it is to have both of them.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I saw that because, like, isn't Brad Pitt Leonardo's stunt double in the movie?
Yeah, so,
I was like, that's kind of a funny dynamic because you always see Brad Pitt as being the pinnacle person in the film. It's like to see him as someone's just like stunt double in a film, which is the part that he's playing.
With Leo.
Like, it's kind of cool.
It says in the trailer, which, it's actually supposed to be a comedy. Comedy and drama. But there's another... what's her name? Margot Robbie.
I love Margot Robbie.
So this movie is apparently, now this is where I'm getting a little like, so you saw the trailer, it looks all happy and fun, but she plays Sharon Tate, which I don't know if you know, but there are the Manson murders that happened in Los Angeles. So Charles Manson, he's like a cult leader in the 1960s, and his followers are called his family, and I think in that house that he sent people to kill, like Sharon Tate and all them, murdered them.
He sent people to kill her?
So here's the thing.
Why?
I think where Sharon Tate was living in Hollywood, that house was supposed to be someone else's, and he was getting revenge. but apparently he didn't know that it was someone different. So what he did was he sent like his family, and they murdered about like 6 people, including Sharon Tate, which I don't know a lot about Sharon Tate, but she was a up and coming actress.
That's crazy.
So my biggest question is, what is he gonna do? Because Quentin Tarantino is.
She does look kind of like Margot Robbie.
She was apparently like an up and coming movie actress.
Sad.
But you've heard the name.
I actually hadn't.
Oh, you never?
I mean, I'm just not very educated on this era of like Hollywood and film.
I don't. Yeah, I mean.
Oh my God! At the time of the death, she was 8.5 months pregnant with her son.
Yeah. And the reason why the thing
that
with
is awful.
The thing with the murders that I want to read up on it.
She was married to Roman Polanski.
Polanski, yeah, he's alive still, I think.
Yeah.
So the thing with the murders that everyone was getting upset is that they didn't just kill. And I don't want to look at the images, but apparently they didn't just kill them. They like dismembered. Like this was a big thing, and I was like, what? And my thing was I was like, all right, Quentin. I hope my thing is his violence is cartoonish.
Yeah.
But when it's pitted up against real life stuff,
how is he gonna do that?
Yeah, how are you gonna do it? These are real people. So, but I know he's gonna do a good job. I don't know if I think maybe it's like, maybe Sharon Tate or Margot Robbie is in like connected to the characters, because in the description of it.
Oh, so she's just like a different part of the film.
Yeah. So Leonardo DiCaprio's character is next door neighbors of her.
Oh.
And that's what.
Oh, are they gonna like be a fine like?
Well, that's the thing is I don't think.
I assume that's not like fact that's not how it was before.
No, those are fictional. Leo's characters are fictional.
Oh, she's the only like.
She's only real.
Okay.
Well, Charles Manson's in it.
Yeah.
But
he's in the movie.
Well, not
he's
him.
He's a character.
But someone plays him.
Oh, I'm really.
Well,
this movie sounds cool now.
Because here's the thing.
When was the last time Tarantino like released a film?
2000.
Oh, Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight, which was his eighth movie. So I don't know if you've seen Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So he said people are saying that this is probably the closest he'll ever make to Pulp Fiction again.
Oh.
So like, because it's like LA vibes and stuff. But like, kind of like you would just say like, oh, it's interesting. Like, personally, I don't want to learn about something unless I want to learn about it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, oh, I like Tarantino. Oh, there's something called these Tate Manson murders. What is this? I want to learn about it because it like.
I'm gonna go like look
into
this.
And again, I don't care about the '60s.
Yeah.
But like, oh, he's making a movie that's like kind of oldish, and I was like, hey, Dad, do you want to go see this? He's like, oh, that looks.
Yeah.
It appeals to him because he knows about the '60s. He was born in the '60s. To me, I like.
Yeah, my dad would probably like this too.
Yeah, and I'm like. I don't know. It's kind of cool, and if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's an original movie. You don't see a lot of these.
No, yeah.
And when they come around,
you're making me excited about this movie.
Well, I mean, when they come around, they're pretty special. Like Us, that's great. I want to see Us.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's just like, yeah, I cannot wait to see that. You'll have to watch it. You have to watch Get Out too.
Yeah, I want to see Get Out.
We'll delve into all that stuff for a podcast topic because I definitely want to see Us in the next few weeks. It looks awesome, and so I mean, it kind of has the same like style and like feel to Get Out. But that's like Jordan Peele's thing, and it's really cool to like watch this just like new type of story and thing to be so like embraced by just like people who go to see movies.
I mean,
it's so exciting.
It's originality. Like it makes me want to go to the theater, and like with these, like this movie, Once Upon a Time, like. It's like when you see the trailer, you're like, I don't know what this is, but I think now if you watch it,
I'll understand.
You'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like you'll get like, because I don't know '60s music, but like I've given you a little context. I think if you watch it, you're like, oh, this music's kind of like, ooh, it's like, it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? He makes it cool. I'm not saying you need to watch movies that make you feel cool, but I'm like, and I like Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And then there's an actor that's playing Bruce Lee in it.
That's funny.
And I'm like, if you watch the trailer, like it has scenes of him like, it's the guy that's playing Bruce Lee is actually a martial artist.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I've loved martial arts. You know, I did martial arts. I'm like, it's cool. And I don't know. It's just movies like that and like Us and like, I will say Toy Story 4, even though it's a sequel.
Yeah.
I know they offer like such original stories. Like, again, if you watch this trailer or Toy Story 4's trailer, like you cannot guess what's gonna happen. Like most trailers, you're like, oh, it's like that giant noise. And You know,
that's one thing. Yeah, I don't think I watched all of the trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but like I should definitely go like actually pay attention to it because like it looks cool and it wasn't like giving you every scenes from every single act and part of the film, which I hate when trailers are just like it's literally just like a synopsis. I'm like, why?
Yeah, because then
I remember I had like in the film class that we took together, film appreciation class that we took together, I think in one of my papers from the night to write, I had like, it was like a response question. I had mentioned how like, I usually watch like trailers before I see a movie. And like, I remember when I got it back, my teacher had written like, no, don't do that. Like, I never watch trailers, like you'll spoil it.
And then you realize, oh, he's actually right.
I know. And like, I've thought about that since then, but I'm like, oh, when you see a movie that looks interesting, you want to get the...
You want to watch the trailer now.
Yeah, it's exciting, but I wish that they weren't so revealing and just like giving every single plot point that's going to happen.
Well, and that's why like... And that's why like I've seen Us's trailer like multiple times. I'm just like...
And I'm just like, what's going to happen?
Well, I know, okay, we get... It's all known that there are...
Foils, basically.
Foils of people.
Evil foils or something.
Okay, so you get that, but it's like, well, what else? What are they gonna do? It's not going to give it to you. You see what's happening, but it's like...
I've heard that there's like a big twist or something.
Yeah, but you're like, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
How is he gonna flesh out this idea?
And then I think with like same thing with like Toy Story. Like, okay, I know all of this, but like, what are they doing?
What are they gonna get into? How did he find Bo Peep?
And when they're saying these like revealing lines and they put the music over it, like you kind of also think. I think it was Beach Boys, but like I was like, oh, what does this music mean? And I researched the music, and I was like. Apparently, the song title was called "God Only Knows," and I was like, "Oh, I was like, what does that mean?" Like this, like, because like they're saying some like philosophies, like philosophical stuff. Like he's like, "Oh, change is good," and he's like the spork is like, why am I alive? And I'm just like, oh my God, these are actually like, if you think about them, like, this is a kid's movie.
Yeah, doesn't the fork system like I'm supposed to be used once and then thrown away? I'm like, why are you?
But
have
like,
some self-esteem, Forky.
But I'm like, oh, like, because kids are just like, what? And then you're, as an adult, you're like, oh, like, so, and then even in this trailer, I've seen this like multiple times. I'm just like, this looks cool. I'm just like,
only 4 months till it comes out.
Yeah, and it's like,
we'll be here before we know it.
That's why I was like. Because we've talked about it before, the movies this year were kind of like, last year were kind of like, that's all sequels.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Oh, sadly.
Sadly, but like, that's why
there's a few goodies coming out this year.
There's a few goodies.
Hopefully more than that. And then we have the Avengers movie that everyone's dying over. I don't even care. I haven't even seen the other ones. I hope Thanos wins.
Yeah, I mean, man, just end the series already.
Right.
Like, God. It's 20 again, it's a chore. But like I saw Captain Marvel, it
was good. I saw it too, yeah.
But you did, yeah. What else can, like we talked about this, what else can a movie do besides entertain me? Do I get a message? Do I feel something? Do I get emotional? Like
my viewing experience for Captain Marvel was awful. Like the people in the theater, there were kids who were just running. I was on the end, running up and down the end for like the whole movie, and it just took me out of it. And then there was like, at one point, someone had like dropped their phone under the seat, so they had an attendant come and like flip the seat over and like look. It was just like a whole thing. It was like $5 Tuesday. It was really crowded.
It's cheap as shit.
But yeah, it went, and like we've talked about it quite a bit, but it was good. I liked it.
That's good.
But yeah, we can put a pin in that.
Put it in that one. I mean, but yeah, like movies, original, like for us who are like low key movie fanatics, like we're sensible movie fanatics.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch more movies lately.
But like we don't. I think you as well as I do. We don't just watch for the sake of watching.
What have you seen lately? We'll just talk about that for a sec.
Whatever. I mean.
Have you watched anything on any movies or anything on Netflix or anything?
No. I mean, I haven't seen a movie. I've seen like, no.
I watched Beautiful Boy last week.
Oh.
It's like, I didn't really like it. It's Steve Carell, Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, Chalamet, yeah.
And it's about like a true story of like a young like drug addict and stuff. It just, the pacing was weird and it didn't really incite any like emotional attachment to the characters, which you want in a film that touches so much on like this destruction, like self-destruction. I don't know. It was fine. I kind of skipped through part of it because it was just like, it was like a cycle, which is how addiction is a lot of the times, but it was just like, it didn't really translate well to like a film. And then last night for the second time I rewatched the Amy Winehouse documentary on Netflix.
Oh,
it was not on Netflix, but it's A24 did it and stuff. And I was like about to cry. It was it was good, but it was really sad to like just see the like.
I've seen the things.
Yeah, and like just how everyone kind of played a part in it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was really eye opening because like I love her music so much.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen to it all the time,
and
that was good. I recommend you to watch that. Beautiful Boy, Not Worth Your Time, and that's all that I've watched in the last week.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like most of the stuff I watch, like I'm very particular about what I watch because it's like it sounds really nihilistic. Like wow, like it's like I want it to be worth the time to watch. You know, like these trailers, watching like movies and whatnot, even if it's on Netflix or in the theater, it's just like, wow, that looks so exciting. Like, oh wow, I watched it again, I'm more excited. Oh, I keep watching it. It's so exciting. Like that's why I want to watch things. Or same thing with like YouTube content. Like I want to watch things that, like, oh, there's another new upload from this. Oh yeah, like they
it's exciting.
It's the same concept. But you wanna finish it out on this?
Yeah, we'll just quickly finish it out on something new that happened this week. Well, a few things that Shane Dawson's been into. First of all, he got accused of doing sexual acts with his cat when he was 19. And then he got engaged right after.
Oh my
Congrats.
God. Congrats. That's what that picture was?
But
that's why
but basically, gist of it, I'm sure you guys all saw it on Twitter or whatever. Shane Dawson, like, I didn't hear about the accusations. I just saw Shane Dawson tweet, I didn't do blank with my cat. And I was like, why is he saying this? Who would have thought that? But I used to listen to Shane Dawson's podcast. It was really funny. And his co-hosts were amazing. They always had cool guests. I'm really sad they stopped it, honestly, because Full Screen, that company, shut down. Yeah. And that's where they did it. But it was a really entertaining, fun podcast. I really miss it. But I didn't even remember the episode, but he had basically said in the episode and was like, it seemed obviously it was like a bit, but I mean, I can't really say if it was true or not, but it was basically about how when he was like 19, he like humped his cat and did all this stuff on it. And like now someone found it, which I don't know, why are they just trying to dig up stuff like that? It's a thing. Cancel culture.
It's 2008. It's 2019 now. That's what people think is cool.
But I'm obviously biased because like I've been a fan of Shane for a while, but which I have to address. But I it's just like, what is happening? Like why are we talking about Shane Dawson having sex with his cat?
Relevance, maybe.
Like and what was the thing that you showed me this week about Shane?
Oh, so it was on Twitter, but there was it was another video, and he was like making out with his
dog. Yeah, that's probably, there's been like a lot of people tweeting and making fun of him for like animals and stuff, but it's him like hardcore like letting his dog lick him.
Okay, here's some. Oh, this is cool. What? So news that just came out. So Netflix just recently bought the rights to Brie Larson's her directorial debut, and it's called Unicorn Store. Oh, that's so cool. I want to watch it. Not now, but
they just released a trailer on Netflix so cool. Finally.
Because Netflix now has the rights. It looks cool because like all the paint looks kind of cool. Wow, that's kind of cool. I'll have to watch that. Wow, that's cool.
Right, live podcast, baby.
She's just always in our pods. Yeah. Like, that's cool.
Basmati Blues.
We'll do that soon. Well, I mean, do you want to just call it there? I mean?
Yeah, we'll call it there in a second. Okay. But one last Shane Dawson thing. After he was making out with his animals, doing all that stuff, he did get engaged, and a lot of people were saying that he might have done it to like make more positive press because, which I think is maybe kind of cynical. It was like the couple's like 3-year anniversary, so like it's not an offshoot. Like it's not crazy to think that he would have already planned this. But I mean, who's to say? No one's in his mind. And then I was watching H3 podcast.
Yeah, I was too.
And they were talking about, did you see how they like showed the trailer of Logan Paul is doing like a super serious documentary about flat Earth, and it's basically like the exact kind of style of Shane Dawson's documentary type videos. Yeah. And it's been compared a lot, and it's just like Logan Paul's obviously trying to jump on this like long form content train.
So here's another thing. I recently watched his podcast. I was just like,
which podcast?
Logan Paul.
Oh, you watched? Okay. What's it called?
It's called Impulsive.
There we go.
Okay. As much as there's controversy around him, and we'll do a short teaser of this because we don't want to. Maybe this will be next podcast, but influencers in LA. Okay, that's a big thing. It's a big topic, but he's still. Here's the thing: as I want to be biased and just say, oh, Logan Paul's trash because but the dude's he's still producing stuff, and it's quality, and it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: is like I've only talked about him because of the crazy stuff he does. Like same thing with Shane Dawson, but then they're still doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean
they're
he's making bank doing it.
And I was like,
he has his own like production.
I know.
Maverick company.
And I was like,
now.
that's, you know, as much as you want to disown the guys, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you still are doing something.
It's funny to see him in such
ironic.
a serious sense, and like
No,
I'm
it
not
is.
gonna watch it, and I don't really care about it.
No.
But
I mean, I will say I only watched
I
the podcast because I like Josh Peck, and I was like, fine, I'll watch that. Okay, fine. But then everything else was just like, that's the only time I'll ever watch it. I'm not ashamed. I was just like, okay. But you can see how people can get hooked onto him.
Yeah.
How kids can get hooked. And yeah, but he's still crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Logan Paul's crazy. But yeah, you clearly know what he's doing is just a mocking of Shane Dawson. But he's going to get millions of views anyway because YouTube promotes it.
Yeah.
And because,
let's do a Flat Earth documentary.
And because, you know, YouTube won't ever take him down because they're like, well, he makes us money.
Yeah, exactly. It brings in tons of views.
So.
But that's that, folks.
That's it. That's all, folks.
That's all we got for you.
Wrap it up because we're, you know, memers and.
It's time to go.
It's still a long one though.
Or memers and dreamers. Yeah, we're good.
No, that's fine.
You deserve it. You deserve 30 minutes.
You deserve 30 minutes of us.
Yeah.
I hope that's recording.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We just end on please record.
Please record.
Please be there.
Please there.
Bye.
Bye.